This is the most famous battle in Serbian history, and no one truly won it. 600 years ago, two great armies met on a wide field, and by the time the sun went down, both of their leaders were dead. And yet Serbs hold that day closer than almost any victory they ever won. They remember it as the day they decided who they would be. Here is the story in Serbian.
Davno je bila velika bitka.
Long ago, there was a great battle.
Bilo je to na Kosovu polju.
It was on the field of Kosovo. The field itself has a name, and the name is almost a small poem.
Kos
Is a blackbird. Add one ending and you get
Kosovo.
the place that belongs to the blackbirds. So the most remembered ground in all of Serbian history is, word for word, the field of blackbirds. Hold on to that picture because the rest of the story happens there.
Bilo je to na Kosovu polju.
It was on the field of Kosovo.
Srpski car se zvao Lazar.
The Serbian Tsar was named Lazar.
Turski sultan se zvao Murad.
The Turkish Sultan was named Murad.
Dve velike vojske su se srele.
Two great armies met each other.
Bitka je bila duga I strašna.
The battle was long and terrible.
Jedan srpski vitez se zvao Miloš.
One Serbian knight was named Miloš.
Miloš je ušao u turski logor.
Miloš went into the Turkish camp.
Tamo je ubio sultana.
There he killed the Sultan. Listen to the verbs that carry the action.
Ušao.
He went in.
Ubio.
He killed.
Poginuo.
He fell. To say that a man already did something, Serbian sets one little word
Je.
in front of a verb that ends in the sound O. That one small word is your door into the past. And once you notice it, you will hear it carrying every story you ever read in Serbian.
Miloš je ušao u turski logor.
Miloš went into the Turkish camp.
Ali obe vojske su izginule.
But both armies were destroyed.
I car Lazar je poginuo.
And Tsar Lazar fell.
Legenda kaže, Lazar je morao da bira.
Legend says Lazar had to choose.
Izabrao je carstvo nebesko.
He chose the heavenly kingdom.
Nije izabrao carstvo zemaljsko.
He did not choose the earthly kingdom. Two kingdoms and one shared ending
Carstvo nebesko.
is the heavenly kingdom,
Carstvo zemaljsko.
is the earthly one. Hear how the describing word takes the ending of the noun it sits beside, so the pair lands on the very same sound. Match that ending, and the sentence locks into place.
Izabrao je carstvo nebesko.
He chose the heavenly kingdom.
Zato Srbi I danas pamte taj dan.
That is why Serbs still remember that day.
Taj dan se zove Vidovdan.
That day is called Vidovdan. 5 words to take with you.
Bitka. Bitka. Car. Car. Vitez. Vitez. Polje. Polje. Dan. Dan. Davno je bila velika bitka. Bilo je to na Kosovu polju. Srpski car se zvao Lazar. Turski sultan se zvao Murad. Dve velike vojske su se srele. Bitka je bila duga I strašna. Jedan srpski vitez se zvao Miloš. Miloš je ušao u turski logor. Tamo je ubio sultana. Ali obe vojske su izginule. I car Lazar je poginuo. Legenda kaže, Lazar je morao da bira. Izabrao je carstvo nebesko. Nije izabrao carstvo zemaljsko. Zato Srbi i danas pamte taj dan. Taj dan se zove Vidovdan.
In the summer of 1389, a Serbian army under Prince Lazar met an Ottoman army under Sultan Murad on the plain of Kosovo, and both leaders died there. Murad is the only sultan in Ottoman history killed on a battlefield, and Lazar was captured and executed the same day. The battle itself was closer to a draw than a rout. Both armies were shattered, the Sultan lay dead, and the Ottoman advance stalled. Serbia held on as a free state for another 70 years, and the memory of that day has outlasted every empire that came after. So how did a single hard day become the beating heart of a people? Through poetry. Almost everything most Serbs can tell you about Kosovo, the night Miloš riding alone into the enemy camp, a second nobleman betraying his prince, Lazar offered a choice between an earthly crown and a heavenly one, comes from epic songs that were sung for generations and only written down much later. Historians read those scenes as memory shaped by faith and music rather than a record of the day. The betrayal especially looks like a later invention, with almost no hard evidence that any nobleman turned on Lazar. So take the songs as songs. The meaning is real, whatever the details. A people took the worst day they ever had and decided it was the day they kept their soul instead of their land. They marked it on Vidovdan, the 28th of June, and they have carried it ever since. That is the quiet power of Kosovo. Win or lose, it asks the one question a people never stops answering. What would you refuse to give up?
Laku noć. I ne zaboravi Kosovo.
Good night, and do not forget Kosovo. There's another Serbian story waiting, and it is a gentler one. A young prince walks away from a crown, becomes a monk on a holy mountain, and comes home to give his people their church, their first schools, and their first written law. Subscribe, and it will find you.